Hello and welcome to another episode of Super Pros Bros. I'm Player 1, Ike, and with me as always is...
Player 2, Eli, and Bro Sapien. His podcast is on YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spotify.
Oh my god, I did not, Bernocchio. Are those the same places they could
Like,
comment,
share,
and subscribe?
it sure is. Send help.
What are we talking about this week, Mine Bro Tato Chip?
We're going to get off the bros. Well, I know that recently the two of us both watched HBO's new, I don't know necessarily masterpiece is the right word, but their series Peacemaker.
We did indeed.
Not masterpiece. I did like it though. I was a big fan.
There was a quite an amount of good. Yeah. I think you were a little hotter on it than I am.
That's
shall
possible.
we say?
That's possible, but I mean, it's just hard to not like John Cena.
Oh, I love me some John Cena. This did not in any way diminish. I don't know if it accentuated, but it definitely did not diminish my love of that man.
Yeah.
Regardless of how difficult it is to see him at times. WWE jokes.
No.
That's going to get us copyright stricken. Don't do it. Do you want to do back and forth, or do you want to list off what you like and didn't like from the series? By the way, folks, spoilers coming at you hot.
Spoilers,
highly recommend.
They will be coming, though. I think we can go back and forth, but like throw good things. We can eventually swap to bad things or things we didn't care for as much. For the quick context, it is right after the back of Suicide Squad, and it's Peacemaker getting out of the hospital. That's kind of all the lead-in you really get. You do, because in Suicide Squad, Peacemaker's not really a full character.
Yeah, he definitely isn't. He definitely is not as fleshed out as he is here.
Like he is like the most cliche soldier toy possible.
Yeah.
Which
if
is
G.I. Joe was
G.I.
made in the
Joe
South
was made
and
into
slightly racist.
Yeah, like that, and that's fine. Like he serves his purpose beautifully. Yep. Like it's all he needs to be, and got good chemistry, so it sells it. It's John fucking Cena. So hey, I can't do it. You can't do it either. So I do appreciate that you don't really get to know, like, you don't know dick about Peacemaker, even off Suicide Squad. Like, the only insight into his background you get is dad was likely abusive, trained him to be a soldier. Full stop.
We're talking about from Suicide Squad, correct?
Yeah, like that's all you get.
Mm-hmm.
Then he gets a building dropped on him.
Yeah.
That's basically all the lead-in you kind of need to know between Suicide Squad and Peacemaker.
Totally. So starting off, Bro Hamster, what did you love about Peacemaker?
The styling is really good. Like
what stylings?
Easy one for me to think of. Music choice.
That 80s hair metal dough.
Fucking glam rock in my veins.
It definitely made me listen to some White Snake after I was done watching an episode or two for sure.
Well, like I know when I started watching with my wife, it's like, we'll watch every other intro. No, we watched all of them. Like
the intro too. I love the just the stoic face with insane dance move intro is just so great good. Too.
Everyone has a static emotion for all of that.
It really just adds to the absurdity. I'm here for it.
Yeah, and I think kind of its styling, like James Gunn in general does really good with like music styling. And
to be sure.
Like, I mean, look at fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, has a very, very dead set style on what it's going to use for a soundtrack. and it gives it it adds that sense of identity that makes it unique. And so I think 10 out of 10 here on its music selection. So I think that was a big plus for me.
Totally. I love it's very much, one of the things that I notice I love in directors, or like in my favorite directors, is they very much have a sense of style. They're, very auteur, and James Gunn is, while populist and his own sense of humor, very much has auteur moments. With like his films, you can definitely feel a James Gunn film out, even if you didn't you watch 3 movies, I'll tell you one of them's done by Gunn. And even if I show you 2, you'd be pretty sure 2 of them were done by Gunn. Like, he just, he really is very much his own entity, and it shows in the best sort of way. So other than music, what was revving your engine?
It had really good chemistry. And I think a large part of that is carried because of how easy it is to like John Cena. But I feel like most of the play between the kind of main band was good. It was enjoyable to watch, just the fucking ribbing on each other back and forth. I loved, there's outtakes at the end of each episode, which are fucking funny. The shit with Vigilante is outstanding. And, the stark contrast between his complete lack of, empathy and social ineptitude contrasted with the kind of hyper empathy of Adebayo and great social skills and social reading. It's just fucking funny. It's just good. It just works. So they did a really good job with their kind of core band and how they play off each other.
Totally. What was words, they fail me. How were you with the humor? Was that a big hit for you? Did it have misses at points?
Some of it misses. I think a lot of it was pretty good. There's a lot of dumb, stupid guy humor. But Peacemaker's kind of a big fucking doofus, so it fits. And I appreciate that at times it kind of calls itself out, on just dumb chauvinistic bullshit, which I respect. But I think by and large the humor landed. I got I'll go 75-80% on the humor landing. Occasionally there was stuff where I'm like, alright, I get it. Let's fucking move on. I get it.
So, is anything else you like before you hand the torch?
I appreciated the sense of character growth you get. This is going to be a weird take. I appreciated that they didn't censor the racist asshole.
Yeah.
I appreciate that the guy who's running the Aryan Empire just calls people faggots and other such horrible shit. I appreciate they didn't try to couch it and sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
I'm no, he's gonna fucking say it.
Yeah. You can't have a racist guy not be a racist, and then expect it to sell.
Yeah,
you definitely gotta do it, man.
I appreciate that it was just yeah, this dude's an asshole, and you very clearly, the dude sucks. He's the worst. He absolutely gets comeuppance, which is great, but he's the worst. So I really liked that. I think the choreography was okay. By and large, there was some weird fight choreography with John Cena himself that felt like he forgot how joints worked, which kind of confused me.
With a suit that stiff and muscles that big, I kind of get it, but I take your point.
Yeah.
It sounds like we're starting to trail off for you. Are you out of thumbs up to give?
I'm out of like big thumbs up. There's a couple like small notes maybe, but I think I've hit the big like these stand out. I really liked these.
Mhm. If I may,
You may.
I have grabbed the metaphysical torch of awesome dude. I really enjoyed. It wasn't always necessarily great, but I really did enjoy the fact that most of the action is done by John Cena, who is, came from the WWE, has done all action movies, and I would bet money does all his own stunts. And it shows. The way they do the choreography, there isn't a lot of like quick cuts. There's not a lot of like, let's get it from the back so we can show a stunt double. It's like, no, we've got a action star who can be an action star in every single way.
We could
Let's let
throw
him
through
do
a
it.
brick wall and wouldn't
Yeah,
notice.
and also like having it be kind of like being able to have it be funny because it's like he was in prison. He's not the best at this sort of thing in certain ways. So like there's a scene where he's jumping off down a set of like like down patios on the backside of
Yeah.
like an apartment complex and just eating it. It's like awesome. And it's not like weird cutaways or anything like that. It's like whap. It's just like he just hits it hard. You're like, nice.
It's like, ow.
Yeah, and his character is like, fucking God. Just like peels himself off the pavement and jumps another 2 floors and eats it and rinse repeat. I really enjoyed there was humor that was, so James Gunn has this penchant to do, if you watch his films outside of the Guardians of the Galaxy, you'll see this, that he has this penchant for doing cringe humor. And we're going to talk about some of this and what I didn't like, but there was a lot of it that was kind of fun and just like it did really fit with the character aesthetics. And I do like you were saying, like, let the racist be racist and kind of let the guy that was born in the South, was in the military and then in prison. Yeah, let him be a bit of a chauvinist. It's like that tracks.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get why that's bad. And I think that's a really good starting off point for the character. It allows for some of the jokes that, in my opinion, Gunn clearly wanted to be in the show. And just like it just works.
Yeah,
like that.
It's a point he can grow too.
Yeah, and it's a great way to show growth. You get to have the kind of cringe humor, but also have it track with the character. I think that was really good. One of the kind of fun things when Gunn gets to play bloody is he just gets to kill characters kind of whenever he feels like it, and he gets to do that a bit more than I think maybe he should. But it's kind of nice as opposed to from a lot of other enterprises where they're like a little, kind of, oh, maybe we shouldn't, maybe we should. He's down to smoke some fools, and that is complete. Like he's fine with that, and that kind of puts you on edge and is kind of fun.
Yeah,
more on that later. Like we were saying earlier, the music slaps. The intro is great. I think the big messages at heart play out really, really well. The kind of growing past and like, surviving with pain and what to do with that pain and kind of in like his own way. Like there's like a part of the character's journey is of a therapeutic nature. And I think that is played out pretty well without the character like going into therapy. I think they do a pretty good job of showing that and like as a kind of like whole unit growth in a sort of way. I feel like there's got to be something else that I really liked but I can't think of off the top of my head. Are you ready to hit this with a bit of the ugly shtick?
Yeah, we can give it a little bit of also Eagle.
Quack.
Eagly's wonderful.
Oh, Eagly's great.
Eagly's the best.
Yeah, Eagly's dope. Eagly's dope. The character of Vigilante is rad. I kind of love him.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
He's so nuts. I think my favorite scene in the whole movie whole show is when Peacemaker like has a conscience for once, He's like, I don't want to shoot people, and
Oh
Vigilante's just
god.
like, hey,
I
buddy,
got you, fam.
buddy, how about move aside from me? And just like, no problem, just start smoking people.
Wow, like commentary, it's great.
It's like,
The one of the things I love about that scene is it's a perfect like dichotomy of what the show is about. Because on one half of it, you have a friend being there for a friend. He's not trying to like show why he's awesome.
no, he's
Trying to
he's
be
being a
there
bro.
for his friend. Yeah, he's being there for his friend. And the way he says it is truly genuine. It's very, it's fantastically showed, in contrast to him then just popping the tops of heads off children, like right after. But like doing them right next to each other is a pure stroke of brilliance. And like I think it's episode 1. And
I think it's like episode 3.
Really? Oh yeah, that's right. That's not episode. It's 2 or 3. You're right. Because 1 ends with him blowing up that one chick. I think it's 2. Because that's like the first butterflies to go after, right?
I'm pretty sure it's 3.
Okay. Early on in the
either
show.
way, it's the front half of the show.
Yeah. Showing, it's about love and friendship and caring for one another with the whole, hey, bud, I got you. And his tone is perfectly set up for the, the can't see this punch to the face.
Mama Bear to sleep.
Yes. Fat pat. And the best part is I don't know about you, but I kind of thought he might miss and then he was going to try to showboat. And then it's like, it shows off. No, Vigilante is a killer. Like, this guy isn't like playing. He is.
Homie came to play.
Yeah, this guy is a stone cold killer and just starts dropping them, which is fantastic. There's a lot of scenes in the show also later in that episode. There's scenes where it's like, yeah, this is the world we live in. Like, they kill a security guard. It's like, he's seen us. We have to remain invisible. Sorry, Adebayo. Like, this isn't like, playtime, nice Superman shit. We're a black ops group, basically.
Yeah.
Also, is it Hardcore? Hardcore is like such a great character. And it has like, I think it's the end of episode 1. She has like one of the best kind of situations where, one, she proves herself to be, the situation is she's gone to the bar. John Cena's being a bit of a creep, follows her, just trying to make sure she's okay or hitting on her and or both. She deals with a guy trying to come up and be a hard piece of shit, showing that she can take care of herself. And John Cena's character is conflicted with what he sees and how he feels and like the world he's been raised in. Because the world he's been raised in teaches him he should hit on her and like that's okay. Even though she's made it clear it's not.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he does see her and respect her for what she is. And that is the inner conflict for a fair amount of the rest of the show of just like how to be a friend and respect versus how to like mutual admiration and like seeing somebody that you find beautiful and expressing it in a way that is, respectful.
Yeah.
I think it's a great way of showing it. And then he promptly fucks a chick that looks like she just teleported out of 1983. That hair, though. Jesus Christ.
It was something. I do appreciate they basically just trash an apartment, like, naked.
Yeah, it's great. Alright, we ready for the ugly bat?
Let's hit it with your ugly bat.
Alright, what you got? What are your qualms, as it were?
At times I felt like it may have been a bit too self-aware, a bit too much on the meta commentary.
What are some good examples?
At the very end, it does the quick shoehorned in like the butterflies are here to manipulate the government to keep humanity from killing itself because they did something similar. It's like, how does this sound familiar? Ignoring science because of populist tendencies. Like, that seems awful convenient. Like, I get it. It's not bad. I would have probably been okay with that if it wasn't like You have 30 seconds to mull it over. Go! Like, just like, come on. Like, it's got a couple of those. I do have some issues with some of the fight choreography. Like, there's some of it that just feels a little bit stilted. I think most of it's pretty good, but some of it's a little wonky. There's a few times where characters should just be dead, and they're not. And I'm like,
looking at you, Judo Master.
No, not him.
What?
Him,
No,
okay,
no.
him too, but he's not the biggest offender, in my opinion.
Wow, who's the biggest offender?
The fact that they all get beaten by a gorilla with super strength.
Yeah, right.
The fact that none of them are wearing armor, except maybe Vigilante and and Peacemaker. Maybe they're wearing armor, and that's a loose maybe. Harcourt is not.
Yeah.
Adebayo is not.
Yeah.
They get booted by a gorilla, and
Yeah.
that is not considering the fact that the butterflies supposedly make the host stronger. You have a gorilla on steroids. Those people are dead. Your chest is caved in. Sorry. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Like,
it's weird to me because I see your point. I think it's completely valid, but that never bothered me in the moment because it was so absurd. It's
yeah.
Super Gorilla. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. Whatever happens in the scene, sure.
Yeah.
The thing that kind of threw me is freaking Judo Master gets hit with a car, gets T-boned on the driver's side. The survival rate on that is not good. I'll look that up in a second. The other one is then after crawling out of the car, gets hit in the back of the head with a crowbar multiple times. Granted, not the strongest guy in the world, but also probably doesn't matter. With like no protection or resistance and just going straight to Skulltown. Then gets shot in the chest. It's just like, how many lives this motherfucker got?
Yeah, nah, he should be very dead too.
And it's the fact for me that it's just like, they're all like human interactions, like car, crowbar, gunshot wound. It's like, okay. Like,
yeah, no, I agree. That one kind of bugged me too. It's like, shouldn't he just? Also, the fact he just kind of gets up repeatedly, like, he's like up and fighting like 2 weeks after he gets shot in the chest and has a car accident. I'm like, no, dude, you're out of commission for weeks. Let alone up and brawling, like...
Yeah.
I think what else if I was going to slap with an ugly bat, what other offenses would I ascribe to it?
So, by the way, percentage of T-bone accidents that are fatal, and this is not saying it's whether driver's side or not driver's side, is 18%. So we're already rolling pretty good, dodging that
1 in
20
5
ball
to die.
Yeah. And then there's like the wounds that suffer, and like, yeah, they gave him an IV, but none of them were like surgeons, so they just give him an IV on a couch. Hope this works out. Like, what?
Hope this will get it done, boys. I'm sure this will be adequate. Yeah. It'll be fine. Be fine.
Speaking of fine, are you fine to hand me the ugly beaten bat?
Go for it.
All right. One, why don't they kill Judo Master? There's so many characters. They kill a security guard who's like, look, I don't work for this guy, like, gives him the complaint thing, and then Judo Master there's like, escapes once, they shoot him and don't kill him. It's just like, why is he still alive? This guy is a problem.
Maybe
very
because
capable
his
of beating the shit.
Like that's the
I
only.
get, but like if they gave me that blurb, I'll go with it. Like
Sure.
because at one point I believe it's asked like why don't we kill this guy or why is he still alive? And like from what I can't really remember a sequence where I go, oh that was adequate like information. It was this guy like yeah I don't know. I was like dude what?
Yeah. Fair enough.
To um the one of the things that the show does, and I don't think it's bad, but I think it could be a lot better. So it goes in the negative category for me. And for some people, it might have been adequate, but for me, it kind of fell short. Was there so much stuff they kind of left at like light bookmark territory, kind of like how you're saying they like, hey, look, we need to do this thing to save the world and save your people and yada yada yada, and then it's alien dies end of show, and it's just kind of like moved on. There's so much they do that with the kind of what some people are gonna be like SJW stuff, where they kind of bring it up and then it goes away. And sometimes it gets, subtly, and like if you pay attention to the show, it gets subtly addressed and you can see characters' growth and change. Like with the way Peacemaker talks about women and stuff like that as the show carries on. From my recollection, it gets slowly better. And I think that's one way that they do it correctly. But there's other ones where it's just like somebody says awkward shit, somebody corrects them, and it's like, is this like a after school PSA shit? Like, what is this? It feels like
Like,
it's just like
do you have an example?
Um. Oh, there's stuff that like Peacemaker talks about with Adebayo, and he's just like this, and she's like, "No, that's bad," and he's just like, "Whoa," and they just move on. I'm just like I feel like it's being played as a joke, but it's like an awkward social commentary thing. It's like I don't understand which side James Gunn is on, and I don't like I understand which side the characters are on, but it's like if he wants to push the message, and if you want to make it a joke, dial it back a little bit. I don't think it makes a good joke, but if you do want to make it a joke, I feel like the way he dials up the intensity of the reactions, it's just like if you want it to be a joke, just let it be awkward, and that's fine. And you have the characters be like, "Dude, what the fuck?" And they do that sometimes, and I think it plays. But then there's other times where it gets addressed, and there's like these interactions, and they bring up like very good information for like me and other people that have learned in college courses over the years and shit like that. And like I think that's good information, but the way it's brought up and the amount of screen time it has, I feel like it doesn't drive the information home, and I feel like it's more of a footnote than an actual chapter or an actual page worth of info
Yeah.
and kind of gravitas. It just like there's little things like that where it's like, can you give a little bit more of like a moment for this, please? I don't know. Um, yeah, and it's not just with backtracking a little bit. The whole Judo Master killing thing. There's other times where they just like decide not to. I feel like that kind of is a little lackluster. I feel like they should have either played it hard and fast or just kind of ambivalent. But they kind of cherry pick their moments. I think I'm not a big fan of that personally. The whole alien thing was a little bit kind of funky monkey at the end. I wasn't a big fan of that. Like not just because it's like kind of trying to crowbar in a message that I do think the people of this country and arguably the world should hear. I think it's a valid message, but it's like the way it's thrown in at the last second. It does feel very ham-fisted, and it's kind of like I get it, but also, and then like his logic at the end was like really like lame. Like it felt like it
Yeah.
was just
If it
half-assed, and
if
like
it
there
was
wasn't that much follow-up to it. I mean, he is not the brightest tool in the shed, but it's still like it was like a half sentence response. I was kind
if
of like,
it's like
eh.
I think we should get to choose for ourselves kind of deal. Like okay,
Yeah,
something.
yeah. There needed to be a little bit more there for me. Um, the whole thing with him like keeping Goff because I thought was like real weird.
That one kind of made sense to me because he didn't trust them, and so he wanted information, so he kept a living sample. Like
Sure, I don't know. It just felt like, man, this is a long time, and you have to know that like they're gonna be pissed. And it's just kind of like at a certain point, I felt like I don't know. It got a little long in the story for him to still be doing it at a certain point for me personally. Uh, a big one of I don't think it was bad. I just think it could have been a lot better. Was he kind of did this a bit where it's like killing people and things other than his dad. I feel like a lot of the deaths were not mined as for as much value as possibly could. Like the death of the, and part of that makes the show cool in James Gunn's defense, where it's like if you have a character unexpectedly die, that kind of it brings the attention of the audience like back full force in this comedy romp, which is kind of fun, you know, like the but the death of Myrn I thought was really underutilized. Like what I was hoping for, and you know, very much this is my preference, but what I was hoping for was that, you know, it's revealed Myrn's a butterfly. I thought they wasted that reveal, to be honest. It was just like, it was shown, then Adebayo's dicking around with his like, you know, see-through helmet. Myrn hears her doing that and just like sits there, which I thought was a little wonky, as opposed to telling like they could have easily had like, hey, put that down, don't fuck with, you know, his shit, we don't know how it like works or whatever like that. Yep. And like then she still like looks over and sees him as like a petulant child, but instead he just sits there and then she sees him, and then he knows that like if he knows that she's using X-ray vision, then why would he just be sitting there? But also, like, so that suggests that he doesn't know she's using it, but then the second she looks and sees him, he clearly realizes it. I don't know.
She does freak out when she sees him.
She freaks out when he starts running at her, is my recollection. But
she does make like, she was like, huh? And like has like this kind of cry of alarm. Like there is a response to seeing, oh, there's something else in his head.
Yeah. Fair enough. But the amount of time that we're given as an audience to be like, oh shit, Myrn's a butterfly, is not that much. Like you could set it up that maybe he's playing for the other team. You know, there's ways you can like kind of do dialogue where it's ambiguous, and like since we've seen that, maybe we think he's a bad guy, you know, playing against them or, you know, playing for them or whatever like that. Yeah. But instead, I think it's like within an episode it comes out and like, you know, it gets explained. And the explanation's fine. I think the explanation plays. The scene where it chases him down, or where he chases down Adebayo, fine. But then his death 2 episodes later is kind of like, sure. I don't know. What I wanted to see happen was I wanted Myrn to stay there till the end, kill the cow, and then have the team realize, wait, we took away the food supply. What happens to you? And he goes, oh, I die too. And that it was literally a suicide mission for Myrn, and he valued the human race that much. Like, because that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Myrn is literally on a suicide mission if you think about it. Because the second they kill the cow, eventually his food supply is gone.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's so cool and compelling, but we don't get to that moment. Instead, they find him. It's like, also, they find him before they can leave, even though they know where they are. It's like, how long does it take you guys to freaking dip out? You guys are ops. Like, I understand if Adebayo couldn't, because she's new, but Myrn and Harcourt have been doing this for like a hot minute. It's like, they should have been out of their rooms in like 5 minutes. Like, how long did this take?
Yeah, that's a good point. That is so weird.
Also, I'm just remembering this now. The weirdest one. So they're on a team. They're looking for all these butterflies. And yet, Peacemaker is staying in the same fucking trailer the whole show. So is it just conveniently that every single bad guy is in his hometown? Or is he making like mad travel to each location and then driving back to his freaking shed every day?
I mean, to be fair, like, they're doing this all up on the Eastern Seaboard, and there is time where they do talk about traveling.
They do, but he never sleeps in a hotel. He sleeps in his bed the same place every night. He's never slept in a hotel the whole entire series.
Mm.
He's in his hometown. Also, the cops aren't like FBI, they're local PD. So they're in the same town. Because they're always the ones responding. It's no other cops respond.
Yeah.
It's always
So
the same
it's,
group.
I mean, everything with him and his dad is in his hometown. Things with the butterflies they travel for, actually.
I would be interested to go back and see that. Again, they travel, but some of these things are done overnight, right? Because the other people are staying in like hotels versus like, because Adebayo's girlfriend for the first bit is not staying in the same hotel with her at all times, even though she's like kind of come along. So I understand if it's like a central base area, but it's a little perplexing to me that like the kind of convenience of like location. I don't know. That one feels a little bit wackadoozy. So overall grade, what you feeling?
I have like solid B plus, I think.
Yeah.
I
I think for me,
it was a
go
lot
ahead,
of fun.
sorry.
I'm saying I thought it was a lot of fun, good romp, enjoyable to watch, and it's just good. Like if you like any kind of superhero-y sorts of shows, you'll probably enjoy this at least somewhat.
That might be a bit of a loose recommend.
Fair.
This plays very different than a lot of superhero shows. I
fair.
do agree. I do agree that it's good. I think I'm a little bit lower on it. I think it's like a B minus for me. Strong C plus. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of things to like about it. There's just some kind of continuity and disconnect issues for me. And I think it's just
look up the intro song.
Oh yeah. The soundtrack's a banger. 100%, 10 out of 10 for the soundtrack. John Cena does it again. He continues to be great. I'm trying to think of when he made the turning point because he was doing some he did a movie called like The Marine and like crap like that fresh out of WWE, and that stuff was not bad, but definitely wasn't
probably
good.
Ferdinand.
Oh really? You think that's when it turned for him?
I feel like that was probably the turn for him.
I couldn't watch that on principle. But I'm glad that was the turning point for him, and he's been doing great stuff. At least that's
my assumption, because it's like the first time I really heard about him being an actor, and then he showed up in like decent stuff afterward. It's like, yeah, like John Cena's fucking acting and shit. That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, great romp overall. If you like kind of cringy humor, this is a great show for you. If you like hair metal, great show. Irreverent humor, great show.
Yeah.
So definitely a fun checkout. I think another great thing about it is, that it shows its true colors pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I would say by the end of episode 1, you know what you're in store for.
Yeah.
Like, I think it shows basically all aspects of the show, and I mean that in a very positive way. Like, there's no get a couple episodes in before it really starts cooking, or you get a couple episodes in, it's like, oh wait, what am I watching? It's like, no, you got it from jump, which I think, especially for a show like this, is quite valuable. So good on them for showing what they got and being consistent.
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to send it to our commercial break. We'll be right back after these messages.
Do you often want an excuse to shit your pants?
No, not really.
Do you find yourself wishing that the hair on the back of your neck was standing on end?
No.
Do you love being racked by paranoia to the point that everything in the dark is a threat to your safety?
Why would anyone
Well,
want
then,
that?
horror movies are for you.
Huh?
Jumpstart those adrenal glands and get ready to curl into the fetal position as you willingly subject yourself to psychological torture.
Wait,
what they may be lacking in plot, horror movies sure do make up for in the butt-clenching fright that will leave you with the most intense case of buyer's remorse possible.
I'm paying for this?
Just remember, the monsters can't hurt you. Right? Right?
Wait, can they? And we are back. Hope you enjoyed that. If you want to buy said product, just stick around to the end of the episode.
We're selling stuff.
Yeah, sure, why not? Selling out. Heyo! So, a couple of addendums from the last episode. Christian Bale was not, in fact, nominated an Oscar for Land of the Sun, I think is what it was called. The person that kills Smaug, is Bard the Bowman, who then, after killing him, does become King of the Dale, but is not currently at the time. And I believe was related to the previous? I don't know. Apocalypse has knowledge of celestial technology.
That's what it was.
Yeah. And Rainer Wilke was an Austrian, and I believe mother was Jewish. So there you go.
And there you have it.
There we have it. Push up those glasses because that's the knowledge you needed to know. So you got a pitch for this week, Brodenheim?
Sure do, Poseidon. So, what would happen if you were able to manipulate thought for those people around you? If you could look at someone and direct the way they think. Would you want to maintain a status quo and insulate yourself? Would you want everyone to think the same way you did? Everyone who's within arm's reach would think the same way you did, would love what you had to say, would unconditionally represent you and rep you. Would people notice the second they walked away? How would they feel about that? Would they notice they'd been pushed and pulled, or would they just think, that was a strange phenomenon? And for the person at the middle, would they actually enjoy it? Or would they see through the inauthenticity and recognize that the only person they're trying to please is themselves and they're failing miserably? That nothing has weight, that nothing has substance, and they're only deluding themselves to believing that people love them.
That last part scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's horrifying. It's a running kind of idea I've had for a while. Termed it thought bubble. And the more you go down that rabbit hole, the darker it fucking gets really fast. It's like, I don't like the implications of any of this shit.
Which is really funny, because agree. Very dark, very awesome. Love the idea. But the part that makes it great for me is when I think thought bubble, I think of like a Sunday morning cartoon.
Exactly.
So I think of something fun and nice, and then it's just like, but what if? And
like, does anyone love you, or is it just you? It's like, fucking shut up.
Fucking Marmaduke's coming in hot this week. Jesus Christ.
This is very aggressive zits. Jesus.
Yeah, that's really good, man. What are you thinking? Is that like a short story book? What's the kind of the length?
I think it'd be a short story, and I think it'd probably end on that note. Kind of terrible. It's like, I don't know if anyone actually likes me. And maybe it's like something gives him the gift, and it ends with him throwing it away. That's a nicer ending, actually. That's a way nicer ending.
And just like that, we solved Act 3 problems.
Yeah, seriously, get rid of that shit. No one wants this. It's a nightmare. But yeah, it's kind of fledgling, but it's a good what if that I came up with.
That's really good.
What about you?
So my idea is for a TV series called Basements. The idea is that everybody is duplicitous, right?
Sure.
You have the person that you are at work, and you have the person you are at home. You have the person you are with your wife. You have the person you are with your friends.
You have faces,
and it's kind of simplifying it to two different zones of physicality, or not physicality, two different zones of being. In that this is, but it's set to where it's literally when the characters are in their basement versus when they are, on the surface. So when they're on the surface, they are they're, I don't want to say necessarily best selves because I play with that idea, but the thought is that they are their best selves. You have a preacher going around being super loving, taking care of the world, all that, being great. And then in his basement, he's doing meth. You have, a mother going around taking care of the kids, doing all this. And then in her basement, she beats the shit out of her husband. I don't know. That idea is... The main one was you have like a priest. You have these like kind of
seemingly pious people.
Yeah, pious people and like, ultra good.
Yeah.
I would have done policeman, but last, I don't know, 100 years I haven't done their visage any good. But, like an EMT, he's out there saving the world. And when he comes home to get sleep, he does heroin. One of them...
That would maybe a little too real for some people.
Reality sucks, homie. I don't know what to tell you. But the idea is to do that, set up a pitter-patter, and then either the series finale or like the kind of mid-season, kind of trick shot to throw the audience's way would be this guy who goes out and is an asshole the whole entire episode. He's like in a gang, is this douchebag. Is like cutthroat, like selling the meth to the freaking priest or whatever like that. Yeah. And you're like, whoa, what is this guy going to do in his basement? Like, holy fuck. And then he gets to this basement and he brings down some medicine and his mom and sister are like sick. And it's like they're, I don't know, cancer meds or something like that. And showing that not everything is good and bad. It's just different.
Yeah.
It's who you show on the outside and who you are deep down kind of thing.
Yeah.
And kind of playing with the idea of the duality of man and like what we hide from society versus what we show.
Yeah. I like it.
Why, thank you.
I don't know what the plot is, but I like the concept.
Yeah, it's more of like a kind of concept piece where it's kind of a, what is that, when there's a connective kind of idea, but the show itself, anthology, yeah. It would be an anthology show. Each episode would exist in the same world, but not have much, if any, connective tissue. And it would just be, the kind of idea of just showing how we're all liars and we all mean well simultaneously.
Yeah.
We're all fractured and flawed.
For sure. Man, we're just fucking bundles of sunshine over here, aren't we?
We're just the happiest kids around.
Gonna need some goddamn Zoloft after this.
Well, other than recommending cheery drugs to anybody, do you have anything you'd recommend to the people out there to wouch?
I mean...
I see what yours is, and I'm not sure it's the happiest.
It's not sad. It's just terrifying. I'm keeping a theme with our branding for this episode. I'll throw out The Conjuring. I love me a good horror movie because I like willingly subjecting myself to psychological torture. And a number of the movies made about the family whose name just fucking escaped me are pretty good. It's gonna bug me. I got
the Perrin family.
Huh?
The Perrin family. It's the original family. No, I don't know about the...
I'm sorry. The people who studied the supernatural, the Warrens. Lorraine and Ed Warren.
That's the characters in the movie, right?
Yes.
Okay. The Perrin family is who the Warrens are based off of.
No. The Warren,
Oh,
the parents of the family being haunted. The Warrens are the people who
okay.
investigated it.
Sorry. Yep.
You're good.
Reading
You're good.
Google response.
Not bad. But yes, I mean they're only here for one. They only got one ghost. But the Warrens
should they have been scared of that ghost?
But there's a number
Did they not know who to call?
Shut the fuck up.
Ghostbusters. What did it? Sorry, continue. It was scary. I don't know.
Not sorry at all.
I'm
But the number of movies made based off of them and some of their investigation stuff are pretty good. And this is the first one they did that I know, or modern one, I should say. There was like some way old stuff done, like Amityville and stuff. But I think like the Conjuring is made like 2013, 2014. It's really good. It has some absolute shit your pants moments. And it's got like the right amount of wait. Oh god, there it is. Like it doesn't abuse the jump scares. It gives a really good sense of dread. It's got a really good audio. Like it's really good. Like if you want that fucking adrenaline
to
rush,
shave a couple hours off your life by increasing the likelihood of having a heart attack.
If you want some scar tissue on your heart, it's gonna get the job done, man. Like yeah, it's very good, very compelling. Like it if you're into it, you're into it, and this is a good one. If not, then don't. Yeah, so that's my recommendation.
I'm gonna follow Jordan Peele's recommendation. All his upcoming film. Nope. That's literally the name of his upcoming film. I love it. It's Nope.
What?
I'm not kidding. He did Get Out, Us. He just keeps going down. He's just like just one word. That's all I need.
It's not even like. Is it gonna be another horror movie?
I think it's somewhere between a horror and a thriller. The trailer it looks dope. I never got around to seeing Us. It kind of didn't look like my bag. I think I'm a little bit more interested in Nope. It seems a little less like horror and more like kind of like thriller, but it looks freaking like
Us was pretty good. I would definitely say Us is more thriller than it was horror.
Okay. There's like spooky faces and and suits.
That is the one thing about that movie that I'm like, oh my god, those are the same people. The amount of transition the actors in Us did, going from one person to the other, quote unquote, fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I saw enough from the trailers to go, job well done. Also, fuck no.
Thanks. I hate it.
Yeah. Thanks. Passing it to Grandma now. My recommendation of the week is a little bit more lighthearted, shall we say. It's The Mitchells versus the Machines. It's an animated feature that came out this last year. Is up for an Oscar. I don't think the Oscars have happened, so maybe it'll get it. Probably not, because there's a Pixar movie or two in there, and my lord, do Oscars and Pixar's seem to go together. But The Mitchells versus the Machines is a fantastically edited and like it's kind of raw. It's got a lot of like kind of YouTube like meme video quality. That might not be the best description to your ears, but once you see it, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's what he meant." And that'll totally make sense.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. The way it's edited is really cool. There's a lot of stuff that might be played for some people with too much nuance that I thought was kind of sweet looking back. It's like, oh, it's a step forward in inclusion in different ways. It very much played the whole idea of like parents versus kids, moving out, moving on, differences in the way you see reality. It kind of amped it up for comic value, but the little knowledge nugget is there, and I think it really works. Fun music, fun dorky as shit story that just it's a great casual romp. It's got some fun messages in there. Doesn't matter if you get them or not. It really knocked it out of the park for me. Also, I believe the people that made it went to the university I went to in California State University, Monterey Bay.
Ah.
That, or they know the teacher who I took my production class from, because that's the only reason I know about it. Is he posted about it after they got nominated, and I watched it, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. It's
Nice.
just terrific G-rated absurdity. Is great, or it might be PG-rated. It's got some dopeness going on. It's great. There's a lot of fun, dorky takeaways, and I would just highly recommend it. Also get to see, it's like the most reserved Danny McBride performance ever, which is saying something, because it's not, if you've never seen Danny McBride, you're going to think I'm a liar, but if you ever go watch anything of his, this is like by far the most subdued. It's still fun and ridiculous because it's Danny McBride, but he's playing a dad and really going for it in like the best, most believable way. Like, it doesn't pull you out of the performance, but boy, is it bananas. Yeah, it's my rec of the week. Well, that's our episode. Thank you for tuning in. And if you enjoyed this, please feel free to
Like,
comment,
share,
and subscribe.
and don't forget, new episodes of Super Pros Bros come out the first and third Saturday of every month.
Bye. Oh, okay.